Good evening. Welcome to the Midnight Signal podcast and our first episode of Signal of the Week. Alien Mike, unfortunately, is not able to join me tonight, so it will just be me telling this story. Um, the Signal of the Week is something we're going to do. We're going to try and drop one or two videos a week of just short stories that we find fascinating while we're researching for our live stream. And I found this one to be really fascinating, and it's been documented. National Geographic has had an article about it. Um, you can find information on this story all over the internet, but it's a story that I've never heard before, and I hope some of you're hearing it for the first time. So with that, let's get into the first signal of the week: the demon cat of the Capitol. Washington, D.C. is a city built on power. Presidents, senators, generals. History is written inside its buildings. But there's something else that walked the halls of the United States Capitol. Something older than most of the people. Something that appears when trouble is coming. Capitol Police have a name for it. They call it the Demon Cat. Most Americans see the Capitol during the day. Tourists taking photos, school kids walking around, through their little tours, politicians, of course, arguing about budgets and bills. But after midnight, the building becomes something else. The long marble corridors go quiet. Security lights throw shadows across statues and columns, and the only people left inside are maintenance workers and the Capitol Police officers assigned to patrol the building. That's when strange things have been reported. Footsteps in empty halls, doors opening where no one else is standing, and sometimes a cat. I know most of you will think, what's so unusual about a cat? Well, the story of the demon cat goes back more than a century. During the late 1800s and early 1900s, Washington had a serious rat problem. So naturally, the Capitol kept cats around the building to deal with them. But sometime in the early 1900s, guards began reporting something strange. They would see a small cat walking down the hallway. Nothing unusual about that at first. But as the officers would approach, the cat would suddenly grow, larger and larger, until it was the size of a mountain lion. And then it would just simply vanish. One of the most well-known reports came from a Capitol Police officer working the night shift in the 1930s. The officer was patrolling the old Supreme Court chamber. As he turned a corner, he saw a cat sitting in the hallway. He assumed it had wandered off from somewhere. He approached it slowly, but as he got closer, the animal began to change. The small house cat began growing. Its back arched, its eyes glowed, and within seconds the officer swore the creature was now the size of what he reports as a tiger. Terrified, he drew his weapon, and just as he prepared to fire, the creature vanished completely. No sounds, no movement, just gone. Now, if this were one story, we could write it off as fatigue, overactive imagination, too much coffee during the midnight shift. You'd write it off as many things, but that's not the case. Because over the decades, multiple Capitol Police officers have reported the cat and reported similar encounters. A small cat appearing out of nowhere, growing larger and larger, and then just disappearing. One officer reportedly chased it down a corridor, only to watch it run straight through a wall. Another guard in the 1940s claimed the cat appeared outside the House chamber late at night. He said the animal's eyes reflected the hallway lights. But there was something wrong. The eyes looked too bright, too intelligent. And when he tried to approach, the creature slowly faded away like smoke. Now, here's where the legend gets really strange. Because the demon cat isn't just seen randomly. According to long-standing stories among Capitol staff, the cat appears before natural tragedy. Several guards claimed to have seen the cat just days before the 1929 stock market crash. The cat appeared before the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Others said it appeared shortly before the assassination of John F. Kennedy. And there were even rumors that officers saw the cat in the Capitol basement shortly before September 11th, 2001. Now, none of these reports are officially documented, but the stories have circulated among Capitol staff for generations, and anyone who has worked the night shift in the building has likely heard them. Excuse me. One of the creepiest reports came from a maintenance worker in the Capitol basement in the late 70s. He was walking through a storage corridor late at night when he hears a low growl. Not a cat's meow, a growl. He turned around and saw glowing eyes staring at him from the darkness. And his eyes adjusted, he realized the shape was a cat. But something was wrong. The cat was far too large. According to this maintenance worker, nearly the size of a large dog. And as he watched, the creature just grew bigger, its shadow stretching across the wall. The workers ran, and when security searched the area later, they found absolutely nothing. So today, the demon cat has become part of Capitol folklore. Capitol Police even have a nickname for it. They simply call it DC, short for Demon Cat. New officers are often told the story during their first weeks on duty. Most, of course, laugh it off until they work their first overnight shift. The Capitol is an old building, and in the quiet hours, when the lights are low and the halls are empty, even the most skeptical officer sometimes feel like something's just off, something is watching. The question that remains, is the demon cat simply a legend, a ghost story passed down among guards working long overnight shifts? Or could it be something else? A residual haunting, a spirit tied to the building itself? Or maybe something stranger? Something that appears maybe only when history is about to take a dark turn. The legend of the demon cat has survived for more than a century. Capitol police officers have whispered about it during midnight patrols. Maintenance workers have claimed to see the glowing eyes in empty corridors, and over the years and decades, the story has become part of the strange folklore that surrounds the United States Capitol. But here's something interesting. According to reports collected by historians and journalists, the last reported sighting of the demon cat came in 2018. And since then, nothing. No glowing eyes in the hallway, no black cat appearing out of the shadows, no terrified guards reporting a creature that grows. But that raises a question. Has the demon cat finally just disappeared? Is the strange guardian of the Capitol gone? The truth is, we may never know. But there is one thing we do know. Something has definitely returned to the Capitol since 2018. The rats are back. And just to be clear, I'm not talking about the politicians, I'm talking about the four-legged kind. In fact, DC's rodent control program has logged more than 13,000 reports of brown rats in and around the Capitol in recent years. The real ones with whiskers and teeth, and a serious dislike for sanitation departments. Which makes you wonder, maybe the demon cat had a job to do, and now that the rats are back, maybe the Capitol could use a mysterious guardian once again. So, if you ever find yourself walking through the Capitol late at night, which I know I do it quite often, and you hear something chasing rats down a marble hallway, you might want to just leave a little milk out, just in case. So join us next Friday for our live stream where we're going to discuss time slips. Uh, this is Midnight Signals, broadcasting from somewhere between the known and the unexplained. Until the next broadcast, keep looking up and keep listening.